Howdy, folks, and welcome to the Deep Dive.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're fixing to explore some powerful ideas, the kind that can truly make a difference for us right here in Overton County.
That's right. Real practical stuff.
Yeah, one of our neighbors sent in some mighty thought-provoking material from a fella named Jim Rohn.
Good old Jim Rohn.
Yeah, this ain't some dry old textbook, This is about getting our minds set right and charting a course for a better life, right here where we call home.
Exactly. Like knowing the best way to plant your beans down by the Cumberland River. Got to do it smart.
You got to do it smart to get the best yield. That's
Yeah.
it. So we're going to dig into these ideas together, see what valuable lessons we can unearth that'll help you, whether you're working hard over in Jamestown or building your dreams in Livingston.
And what stands out, really, is how practical this wisdom is. It's not just theory way up in the clouds.
Yes, sir.
It's grounded in everyday actions, choices we make, focusing on what we can control. That's what makes it so compelling for folks trying to get ahead right here in Tennessee.
That's the honest truth. This Jim Rohn talks about something real simple. Two kinds of work.
Uh-huh.
He calls them work number one and work number two. Now, work number one, that's the real deal.
Right.
The kind of effort that can genuinely change things for the better, for you, for your family.
Yeah, like maybe putting in extra time learning a new skill at the tech center up in Oneida.
Exactly. If it means a better job or maybe, dedicating yourself to growing your own small business down in Cookeville, that's work number one.
And then there's work number two.
Yeah.
And that's the work that doesn't really move the needle, does it?
Nope. Just spins the wheels.
It's the time spent on stuff that doesn't get us closer to our goals. Might even pull us back.
Right. You are. It's like spending all afternoon glued to the telly when you could be, tending your garden or learning something new at the library there in Salina.
Mm-hmm. Wasted time, really.
So the key, Ron says, is to focus on work number one with all our might. Like a hound dog on a scent. Dedicate ourselves daily to those actions that are actively moving us toward what we truly desire.
Like what?
Well, greater financial security, maybe more happiness, better health.
Yeah.
Maybe even that little cabin you've been dreaming about up by Dale Hollow Lake.
It's that intentionality.
Yeah.
It's everything. It means we got to constantly ask, how am I spending my time? Because that's the one thing we can't get back.
Ain't that the truth?
So prioritizing work number one, it's like making a deliberate investment in your own future.
It really is. Now, here's where things get truly fascinating, I think.
Okay.
Ron says a staggering 95%. 95% of what we do is driven by habit.
Wow. 95.
Just let that sink in. If you keep doing something over and over, it just becomes automatic. Like driving down Highway 127, you'd hardly even think about it after a while.
Yeah, you just do it.
So we've got to be mighty mindful, real careful about the habits we're cultivating.
That's huge because it means those small, consistent things we do every day, they add up.
Good or bad.
Good or bad. They compound over time and really shape our lives. So we got to consciously choose the good ones.
And keep working on them. Then he brings up this other idea, the 80-20 rule. You heard of this?
Oh, yeah, the Pareto principle.
That's the one. It basically means that, roughly 20% of what we do
Gets us 80% of the results.
Exactly. Think about your garden again. Maybe 20% of your tomato plants give you 80% of your tomatoes.
Makes sense. Happens in business, too. He uses salespeople, right? The top 20% making 80% of the sales.
That's his example. And when it comes to income.
Yeah, he points out that top 20% often earn way more, like significantly more than the bottom 80%.
He asks a powerful question then.
Are they, 16 times smarter or more experienced?
Yeah, and the answer's probably.
Probably not.
Probably not. The real difference, Ron argues, is their focus and the habits they've built up.
So for us right here in Overton County, it's about figuring out what's our 20% in our jobs, our businesses, maybe even just around the house. What gives us the biggest bang for our buck, time-wise?
And how can we do more of that? That's the million-dollar question, ain't it?
It really is.
Now, Ron, he paints a kind of stark picture sometimes about who really achieves lasting success.
What does he say?
He says less than 5. 5 out of every 100 folks truly reach their big goals in life.
Only 5%. Wow.
Yeah, only a handful end up truly wealthy or, just financially secure. The rest?
Well, the rest often struggle.
They often face hardship, yeah.
And the folks who do succeed, what's their secret?
Well, it ain't much of a secret. It's consistent hard work. Plain and simple.
No magic bullet.
Rohn even says, look, if you think working hard for success is tough, try failing.
Oof, that hits home.
Try reaching the end of your days with nothing much to show for it dependent on others. That's hard.
That is a powerful perspective. Puts it in context.
He does. And he points out the average self-made person who really makes it, they put in the hours.
How many hours are we talking?
He says often 12, 13 hours a day, maybe 60, 65 hours a week.
Woo, that's dedication.
He's plain spoken about it. Says working just a standard 8-hour day. Well, that might just be enough to get by these days.
Just survival mode, like you said.
Yeah. Everything beyond that basic 8 hours, he says that's an investment.
An investment in your future.
Like saving a little from each paycheck or putting in extra time to build your own thing right here in our community.
It definitely challenges you to think about your own work ethic. Are you really pushing or just coasting?
Good question to ask ourselves.
Yeah.
Now, think about your ability to earn a living, your earning power.
Okay.
Rohn says that's one of your most valuable tools, something truly precious,
Wow.
like a good piece of land or a well-maintained tractor.
Yeah, it's what allows you to provide, to build.
It's all about delivering value, ain't it?
Yeah.
Getting results other folks are willing to pay for. Whether you're a skilled mechanic out in Clark Range or a talented craftsman over in art.
And like any tool, it can get dull, or you can sharpen it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can improve it through continuous learning, developing your skills.
And Ron points out folks in that bottom 80% often kind of stop learning after school's out.
Yeah, they figure they're done. And their income growth slows right down. It plateaus.
But the top 20%.
They're different. They're always hungry to learn more, always looking to improve their craft.
And their income?
He says it has the potential to double every few years. Double.
Wow. Just imagine what that could do.
Right. For your family, right here in Overton County, helping the kids with college, maybe fixing up the house, investing more.
It really shows that direct link, doesn't it? Lifelong learning equals more opportunity. Invest in yourself.
You got it. Now here's something simple, but he says it's a powerful shift in thinking for the most successful folks.
What's that?
He suggests that folks in the top 10% start thinking about their time, thinking about what they earn each hour.
Hourly. How does that change things?
Well, think about it. Instead of just dragging through Monday because the weekend's over.
Or coasting on Friday because it's almost here.
Right. Think it hourly makes every single minute count more. It sharpens your focus.
Helps you prioritize those work number one tasks, I bet. And avoid the time wasters.
That's the idea. Instead of just clocking in and out, you're thinking, is what I'm doing right now worth my hourly rate?
That's a different way to look at it. Makes time feel more valuable, more tangible.
It fosters that sense of urgency, maybe. Makes you more intentional.
Yeah, intentionality again. Seems to be a theme.
It really does. Now, Rohn also talks about mindset. He says, and this might sound a little harsh, poor folks have poor ways.
Ooh, okay. What does he mean by that? It's not just about money, is it?
No, not just money in the bank. It's a whole way of thinking. Thinking small. Always looking for the cheapest option, the quick fix. Kind of a scarcity mindset, maybe,
Right.
settling.
Okay, I see. And successful folks.
They think different. They cultivate a mindset of abundance, of growth.
Right. Seeing possibilities instead of just limitations.
Yeah. And Rohn says, becoming a millionaire, for instance, it ain't just about the pile of cash.
What's it about then?
It's about the person you got to become to get there. Developing character, discipline, resilience, that strong work ethic we talked about.
So the journey changes you. The process itself builds those qualities.
That seems to be his point, which leads to something else. Be mighty wary of that easy road.
The path of least resistance.
Yeah. Ron calls it a big killer.
A big killer. Why?
Because it's that temptation, to always look for the shortcut, the effortless way out, immediate gratification.
But real success usually doesn't work like that, does it?
Not usually. It takes effort, dedication, perseverance.
He warns about those get-rich-quick schemes too, right?
Yeah. You see them everywhere.
Yeah.
He says usually the only folks getting rich quick are the ones selling the scheme.
Good advice. Real wealth takes time, effort, learning.
And speaking of finances, Ron is real clear on debt.
What's his take?
He says being in debt is a real problem, a significant obstacle. That interest just keeps eating away at you, working against you.
It's like swimming upstream financially.
It is. He stresses how important it is to plan for your financial future, not just live paycheck to paycheck, which, let's be honest, a lot of folks do.
It's easy to fall into that trap.
It sure is. But he shares a powerful thought. Even saving just a little bit regularly, say $100 a month.
Yeah.
Over time, that can add up to a whole lot. It's about making conscious choices about where your money goes, prioritizing that future security.
Small steps, consistently taken. Another theme.
See? You're getting it. Now, for those folks listening with that entrepreneurial spirit, maybe dreaming of starting something right here in Overton County.
Yeah. What advice does he have?
He lays out 4 keys. Simple, but powerful. First, clarity.
Clarity. Know what you want.
Exactly what you want to achieve. Crystal clear. Second, simplify.
Okay, simplify. Get rid of the clutter.
Get rid of those low-value tasks, the stuff that's just bogging you down, wasting time. Third, maximize.
Maximize your strengths.
Yep. Really develop your talents. Make the most of the opportunities you already have.
Yeah.
And fourth, multiply.
Multiply. How so?
Find ways to leverage what you're good at. Get more impact from the same effort, maybe through others or through systems.
Clarity, simplify, maximize, multiply. That's a solid framework.
I thought so too. Now, he gets even more practical, down to the nitty-gritty with what he calls the 7 C's.
7 C's. All right, let's hear them.
Okay. Number 1, clarity again. Being crystal clear, like the water in the Caney Fork River, about your goals.
Clarity first. Got it.
Second, competence. Get really good at what you do. Aim to be in the top 10% of your field. See yourself as someone who genuinely helps others, provides real value.
Okay, competence. Be excellent.
Third, concentration. Focusing like a laser beam on one thing at a time until it's done. No multitasking madness.
Concentration. Finish what you start.
Fourth, constraints.
Yeah.
This is interesting. Figuring out what's holding you back, the bottleneck, and actively working to fix it.
Constraints. Identify and remove obstacles. Makes sense.
Fifth, continuous learning. We talk about this, but it's crucial. Always be learning, growing. He says even the wealthiest folks spend time every single day learning.
Continuous learning. Never stop growing.
Sixth, commitment. Put your whole heart into what you're doing for the long haul. It's not just dabbling.
Commitment. See it through.
And seventh, courage. Have the guts to start and the persistence, the sheer grit to keep going no matter what setbacks come along.
Courage. Start and persist.
And he says, tell yourself, I never give up.
Wow. Clarity, competence, concentration, constraints, continuous learning, commitment, courage. That's a roadmap right there.
It really is. Covers a lot of ground. Now, this next part, this is something I think we all need to take to heart. Whether you're in Pall Mall or down in Wilder, doesn't matter.
Okay. What is it?
Rohn says our lives are shaped more by how we think things are, or perceptions, than by how they actually objectively are.
Our thoughts create our reality, in a way.
That's kind of the idea. Negative thinking.
Yeah.
Man, it can hold you back something fierce, keep you from ever reaching your potential.
That's like wearing muddy glasses, isn't it? Everything looks worse.
That's a good way to put it. He uses this image. Think of your mind like a factory or a workshop.
Right.
What are you feeding into it every day? What raw materials? If it's garbage thoughts, negative news, constant worry.
Garbage in, garbage out, as they say.
Exactly. The output ain't going to be pretty. You got to stand guard at the door of your mind.
Be a gatekeeper. Decide what you let in.
You got it. Ask yourself honestly, where are my thoughts taking me? Are they moving me forward or holding me back?
That's a fundamental question for anyone wanting to improve their life. Taking control of that inner dialogue.
It is. And just like our bodies need good food.
Our minds need good food too. Nourishment.
Wholesome input. Positive words, inspiring ideas, things that spark your curiosity, make you wonder, make you think bigger.
So read good books. Listen to positive stuff.
Yeah. He recommends building your own personal library right there in your home. It doesn't have to be huge, but fill it with stuff that challenges you, broadens your horizons.
He suggests some classics, doesn't he?
He does. Things like the Bible, Think and Grow Rich, The Richest Man in Babylon. Books that have stood the test of time.
And the goal isn't just to blindly follow what they say.
Oh, not at all.
Wow.
It's to learn, to think for yourself, wrestle with the ideas, and come to your own conclusions. Use them as food for thought.
Develop your own perspective. Makes sense.
Now, all this talk is fine and dandy.
But talk is cheap.
Talk is cheap if you don't do something with it. Action is key. So Rohn lays out a real simple, straightforward plan for getting started on your goals.
Okay, let's break it down. Action steps.
First, decide exactly what you want. Be specific.
Decide. Got it.
Second, write it down. Plain as day. Put it on paper.
Write it down. Makes it real.
Third, set a deadline. Give yourself a target date.
Deadline creates urgency.
Fourth, make a list. brainstorm everything you can think of that you'll need to do to reach that goal.
List everything. Okay.
5th, organize that list. Turn into a step-by-step plan. What comes first? What comes next?
Organize. Create a plan.
6th, take action. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. Do something.
Take action.
Immediately. And 7th, do something every single day.
Right.
No matter how small. Just one thing that moves you closer to that goal.
Every single day. Consistency?
Consistency. He even gives a challenge. Write down 10 goals you want to achieve in the next year.
10 goals. Okay.
Then pick the one. The single most important one. The one that would make the biggest positive difference in your life if you achieved it.
Find the big one.
And start working on that one using these 7 steps right now.
That makes it manageable. Focus on the most impactful goal first. Turn hope into action.
That's it. And where does all this lead? All this hard work, focused effort, continuous learning.
What's the ultimate reward?
Rohn says it leads to something truly special. Financial freedom.
Freedom.
Not necessarily being fabulously wealthy, but getting to a place where you ain't constantly worried sick about money.
Having choices. Peace of mind.
That's it. Choices and a peace of mind you just can't put a price tag on.
That's a goal worth striving for, no doubt.
All right, let's kind of wrap this up and bring it all home for us here in Overton County.
Okay. What's the takeaway?
These ain't just fancy ideas for folks somewhere else. These are solid principles that can work for anybody right here in our community. If
you're willing to put them into practice.
If you're willing to put in the effort. Think about those 2 kinds of work. Think about your habits, the ones helping you and the ones hurting you. Think about the power of always learning something new.
Don't try to swallow it all at once, maybe.
No, start small. Maybe just pick one of those 7 C's to focus on this week. Just one.
Like maybe clarity? What's one area you could get clearer on?
Or competence. What's one skill you could start developing or sharpening up right now? Just pick one thing.
Okay, so we've got a challenge coming up, right? A call to action.
We do. And this is something real special just for y'all listening right here in our community. A remarkable call to action.
Let's hear it.
We challenge you this week, just this week, to start. To take just 5 minutes each day.
5 minutes, that's it.
That's all. 5 minutes. Focus on your number one goal, the big one you identified. Write it down again. Think about one tiny step you can take towards it.
And then
do it. Just 5 minutes dedicated to moving forward on your most important goal. Let's see what kind of momentum we can build together right here in Overton County.
5 minutes a day. Everyone can find 5 minutes. That's powerful.
We think so. Now, if these ideas have sparked something in you, if you've had one of those aha moments while listening,
we hope you have.
We'd sure appreciate it if you'd hit that like button, maybe leave a comment down below telling us what resonated with you.
We love hearing from you.
And subscribe so you don't miss our next deep dive. We're all in this journey together, folks, learning and growing.
Absolutely. And now, as we close out, let's just take a quiet moment together. Okay. Heavenly Father, we lift up all creatures great and small, every single sentient being in this world. Grant them peace, grant them understanding, and light a path towards their highest good. May we all strive to learn, to grow, and to live with purpose, with kindness, and with compassion in our hearts. Amen.